What up, AutoZoners? We haven't decided what we're going to call you guys yet, but that's what we're doing today. This is the new kind of podcast that GridEngine is associated with. And then, what's your YouTube channel called?
My YouTube channel is just my name, Jack Reader.
Jack Reader. Okay, yeah. So we're here with Jack Reader. We're good pals from way back, and we're here to hit you with some automotive content podcast stuff.
Yep.
It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be freaking sick.
Some car guy stuff.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. We don't know what it's gonna be called yet. We'll let you know when we do.
Still working the kinks out.
Yeah, we're kinking the works out or whatever.
Yeah, kinking it.
Okay, so we're gonna introduce ourselves. For those of you who don't know us, I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay, that's
What's your name? Even though we already know.
My name is Jack Reader. I have my own YouTube channel, Jack Reader. It's pretty much what all my socials are. I've been in automotive tech for 10 years now.
Okay.
Went to Paratech,
Nice.
whatnot, and yeah, love cars.
Right. Cars go hard for sure.
Cars go hard.
My name is Simon Hampton. I'm the owner of GridEngine Automotive, the channel and the existing business. I've been in the automotive industry for, I think, what was it? Maybe 8 years now? 7 or 8.
Is that including your military history?
Yeah, that's when it started.
Okay.
Like my training was through the military. Joined the military to get taught how to be a mechanic. Turns out they don't teach you much, and I had to learn most things from working in the field.
Hey, this thing's broken. What do I fix? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Have you kicked it?
Yeah.
Have you said...
Have you turned it off, turned it back on?
Yeah. Classic, dude. Disconnect the battery. Try again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a very short synopsis of what we do, who we are. And you own your own business and shop as well,
correct,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sole owner, operator. Same here. No employees yet. I'm trying to get Jack
soon
as an employee, but I don't think that's going to work because he has his own business. And he's constantly trying to get me to be his employee.
I know.
And I keep telling him, dude, it doesn't work that way.
We just need to hire employees, and then we just run it.
Fair. And then, no. If we hire employees, then we can start a shop together.
Exactly.
We'll start a third shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll run this city, man.
Just combine everything.
That'll be sick. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. I actually, we've known each other for a while, but I don't think I've ever actually known you very well. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Oh. Hobbies?
Hobbies, okay. I grew up relatively poor, but I've always liked dirt biking,
right?
BMX, like extreme sports type stuff.
Yeah.
Although I did play football in early, junior year stuff, and then a little bit in high school, and then yeah. So nothing too crazy. I do like snowboarding. Did play a lot of video games, but I don't know, not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Running a business apparently takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
So by the time I get done with my day and I get home, it's 6.
Right.
I'm ready to eat some food and go to sleep.
I know. Yeah. Tax evasion is stressful.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard. It's hard swerving the IRS.
I know, dude. Those agents, they're wild, man.
I know. They hired 80,000 of them.
I love that. Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
Well, my hobbies mostly entail YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Like recording. I think you can attest to this. Working on a car is, it's fine. It's whatever. Recording working on a car is a hobby in and of itself. Yeah, it's so annoying.
It takes time management.
Yes.
It takes I got to do this step next. It's pre-planning. It's crazy. Getting the correct shots. Is the lighting correct?
Yep. It's very tedious at times.
Yeah.
So
especially when you're doing it yourself.
Yes. Luckily, I haven't had to do that much, but the times that I have, it's like holding a GoPro in my mouth while I work on something.
Yeah.
It's like, hard. This sucks. So yeah, that's a hobby in and of itself.
Yeah.
Video editing, that's definitely a hobby.
It takes so much time.
Yes. Yeah. But I enjoy it personally. That's part of the process that I enjoy.
I enjoy it once I start zoning.
Yeah. Okay.
Get locked in.
Auto zoning.
Yeah. Auto zoning.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Sometimes sitting down is the hardest part. Sitting down on the computer and being like, okay, I could sleep, but I'm going to do this instead.
Could hang out with my wife. Mm-hmm. I'm going to edit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you start your business and why? That's a good one.
That's kind of a tricky question because I've been doing side work for years now.
Yep.
But I went full legit this last November in 2024 because I was a tech for 8 years and then I went to sales and then I was in sales for a little bit. But the thing with sales is it takes a lot of time to build your customer base.
Yeah.
And the market's kind of trash right now, so selling cars is not that good. And I was trying to educate customers on the proper way to buy a car and the best financial way, but most people weren't really receptive to that.
They don't expect it, probably, because they expect a salesman to be kind of sleazy and to sell them the car at any cost.
And to me, I was like, I wouldn't like to overprice someone in a car. Like, I've seen sales guys do it where, oh, you come in, I want to look at this $30,000 car, and then they up price you to like $50,000. They're like, well, you can afford it if you just extend the terms or if you lease it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
There's an art to the craft, but it's a very shady art.
Yeah.
And I've thought about that many times. Like, I've just thought, I would love to sell cars. And then it occurs to me, I couldn't do that. I'm way too honest. And if somebody was trying to buy a Jeep Liberty, I would tell them this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Don't buy a Chrysler.
Well, that's what I would tell people. I'm like, don't do it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I want something reliable. I'm like, the Jeep's not it then.
No. Yeah, don't. And that makes a terrible salesman.
Yeah.
You have to be able to sell anything to anyone.
Exactly.
Even shit they don't want.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I saw you make that switch, I just saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm in sales now. I was like, that's going to be rough, dude.
It was rough.
Yeah.
And so part of the reason I was in sales, and when you're in sales, it's all commission. Like, there's no
base pay.
No, it's all commission. So you can make $0 for the whole month. And there was days where I was at work for 12 hours making $0. And
Dude,
so
that blows.
but my phone kept ringing for, hey, can you do work? Can you do work? Can you do work for car stuff? Automotive repairs. Yeah. And so my weekends were filled. And so I'd work 5 12-hour days with no money, and then on the 2 days I would make my money.
Right.
And so my wife was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, honestly. Like, I'm trying to make it work. And she's like, you're quitting your job. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes somebody else to be like, hey man, you're in a trash ass situation.
Yeah.
You need to get out of your comfort zone and stop.
I think had I picked a job where I had a normal, like, because most people, when they think like normal paying job, salary, hourly,
Right.
I never did any of that. So I can't say whether or not like I would still have started a business had I been in one of those positions.
Right.
But I've always been in a fucked off pay situation where I'm flat rate or I'm commission, and both suck.
Yeah.
I mean, flat rate's definitely better because it's up to you. But then you run into the issue of what type of work are you getting?
Yeah.
And it got to the point where the brand I was working on, it was just batteries and telematics updates and radio updates. And I'm like,
yeah,
it doesn't pay the bills.
No, that sucks. So that was why you made the initial switch, is because all of the work became garbage, right?
Yeah.
Mostly warranty.
The sales thing wasn't working out, and I had more work on the weekends than I did in my normal day-to-day job. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
yeah. No, that's totally fair.
It was a no-brainer.
Yeah. I was hourly, working for a school district, and management switched. The place was already filled with drama, which was wild. Because, like, I tried to be friends with everybody. Apparently, if you speak, you're involved.
Yeah.
It's wild. And so I was getting involved unintentionally. And management swapped. And the new manager was like, hey, man, one of the other mechanics is saying this and that about you. And I was like, well, A, that's not true. And B, he does it too. Like, he does the thing he's accusing me of.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, I don't really care. So we're going to make special rules for you. Like, he didn't say that, but I would observe daily the mechanic who complained about me not following said rules.
Yeah.
And I went to the boss. I said, hey, he's still not he's not following these rules. Is it like what's going on? He was like, I'll talk to him. Never talked to him.
Yeah.
And so I, like you, had more work than I knew what to do with on the weekends. And it was getting old because I have a wife and a kid.
Yeah.
So I had
So you're ultra
with them.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this shit ass.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was one day the boss called me in, made another new rule. And the new rule was I couldn't use AirPods at all, which was my way of blocking out the bullshit of the workplace.
Yeah.
And for years, I had been allowed to wear AirPods and listen to podcasts or music or whatever and just get my work done.
Yeah, you get in the zone.
Yep.
That's what I would do. I would love that.
I know. They fucking removed that.
That sucks.
But the other mechanic had Bluetooth enabled hearing aids, so they couldn't take them away from him.
Of course.
And I said, the next day I handed in my 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh, how could this have happened? I'm like, it's not rocket science, dude.
You guys pushed me out.
The new manager sucks hard. He sucks big, hard,
Submarines.
Yeah. And I'm not into that. And they were all like, oh, well, bummer. You're the mechanic we actually like dealing with. And I was like, yeah, sounds about right. Have fun with these other guys.
That's usually how it goes,
Yeah.
and it's I don't know, I think that's the toxicity I think it can be in any industry, but since we're in this industry, it's what it is. Mm-hmm. It's just toxic environment.
Yeah.
And I've heard of good shops, they're hard to come by, but, like I said, I don't know, would I have the same outcome of opening my own shop had I worked in another spot or tried something else out?
Right. Yeah.
Because you also worked where I worked.
I did. I did for a little while.
Yeah.
I was the car wash guy.
But I thought you were lube tech for a minute.
No. I got transferred to another dealer that was owned by the same company, and the service manager was the service manager at both.
Yep.
And they had an opening at the other dealer, which was on fucking German cars.
Yeah.
And I asked him straight up, I was like, will this be good for my career? He was like, yes. I said, will I enjoy it? He said, absolutely. Everybody else at the dealership we worked at was like, dude, you're going to hate it. Like, there's no windows in the shop.
Yep.
It's older than you.
Yep.
No AC.
Yep.
It fucking sucks. And I was like, whatever, we'll try it.
Dungeon shop.
Sure enough, dungeon shop with the most unbearable teammate known to man. Like, so imagine a teacher's pet,
Yeah.
but it's your only partner, and you're the only two lube techs, and you have to work together on every car.
Horrible.
Yeah, it was that. It was that. So if I did anything not by the book, he would reprimand me, because technically he was in charge of me.
That's crazy.
I fucking hated that.
Yeah.
Not to mention there were some other issues that arose
Yeah.
leading towards me going to another spot. One issue was I did go out and drift in an AMG. And another manager saw me. But that's besides the point. I didn't get fired. They wrote me up, and I was like,
yelled at. Super
fair.
Good. Yeah.
They didn't even yell at me. They were just like, hey, man, you can't do that. I was like, sure. Makes sense.
I can do it.
I did, but you're probably right. I probably shouldn't go drifting in customers' AMGs.
Yeah.
And so I transferred to Toyota.
Yep.
Not owned by the same company.
Nope.
Better pay. Way better guys. Way more fun.
I heard the service manager there starts with a D, right?
Currently. Not when I started, but yeah.
Okay.
When I started,
The guy had a heart attack.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was sad when I heard that, because he was cool.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
The new service manager is super nice.
Yeah.
I talk to him every time I go in to get parts.
He rocks.
He's
Yeah.
cool. Shake his
Yeah.
hand. He's like, "What are you working on?" I'm like, "Toyotas."
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, he just looks at me. I'm like,
Yeah.
"You probably want me to come work for you?"
Yeah.
Well,
No,
am I doing it?
he's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
I've been to his house. When I worked there, he invited me over to like help him with some shit. Like,
nice.
we were tight.
Yeah.
Now, he wasn't the manager at the time.
No.
He was the lube tech manager.
Yeah.
So he was my manager, but he wasn't the service
He's
manager.
the lube tech service manager. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Super cool guy. I love that dude. And yeah, it was way more fun. I've met some lifelong friends there.
Yeah.
That eventually will hopefully come work at my shop.
Yeah.
Because they're just super cool guys. And yeah, that was a good switch.
Yeah.
And what happened was, this is kind of a funny story. They created a new echelon of management in the lube tech hierarchy. So there were 6 lube techs.
Yep.
3 teams of 2.
Yep.
Okay. there was a new lube tech manager that was below the lube tech manager, but above us, because it was the shop foreman, but he had fallen off of a scissor lift like 20 feet and broke his back. Yeah. And he couldn't work anymore, but he came back able to walk somehow, and they were like, we'll make a spot for you. We like you. And he showed up. Everybody hated him because he was like militant. But I was in the military.
So unfortunate because like they created a position for him. You know, I don't know. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. And I was used to military.
Yeah.
I was in the military. And so I was like, yeah, it's whatever. Everybody else just hated him, though. Hated him. All the other lube techs couldn't stand him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I saw my window to the shop because I was like, they had started allowing one lube tech to use a lift in the shop because the lube bay was separate.
Yeah.
A lift in the shop.
The lube bays there, they have pits,
Yeah,
right?
pits. Yeah. But they started allowing one lube tech to use a lift per day. And they put me in there, and I was like, okay, this is my chance. I worked harder that day than I've ever worked in my life. And I did the same amount of oil changes as a team of two.
Yeah.
And they were like, damn. And everybody hated this guy, and I just kissed his ass. Because I was like, he is in with the manager, and that can get me in the main shop, and these other guys are so busy hating him and not trying. Yeah. This is going to be easy. And sure enough, a month later, well, okay, it wasn't that easy. They kept telling me, hey, man, you're going to be main shop. Just hang on. Yeah. Hey, man, you're going to be main shop. Just hang on. It was like 4 months of that. And I was like, okay, I'm getting fucking sick of this.
Dealership life.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of this. So I went down the street to an independent shop. Yeah. I said, hey, can I intern with you for a week and see if you'll hire me? And they were like, yeah. Interned. They were like, yeah, we'll hire you. And I went back to my manager at Toyota. I said, hey, they're going to hire me. You're going to put me in the main shop? He was like, yeah. Next day I was in the main shop. I had to play that card.
Strong arm them.
Yep. But it worked.
Yeah.
And so I did that. And then I met like the people that shaped who I am now.
Yeah.
Like those guys, there was one guy who worked 6 days a week because the teams only worked 4 10s, but you could work 6 10s if you wanted to. And he did. And he clocked more hours than everyone else combined.
He'd probably make a bank.
Yeah. He would do timing covers on the 2G RFE like that.
Yep.
The awesome Toyota V6, but always has a leaking timing cover.
Yep.
He'd drop the subframe and the whole fucking thing within an hour. Have it out.
Engine and everything?
Yeah.
Dang.
He dropped the whole thing on a hydraulic tranny lift.
Yeah.
Dropped the whole thing, reseal it, throw it back in. He could have that done in 5 hours, half a day, and it paid like 15 hours. So he was just doing those. Boom, 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 boom. Customers would wait because he could do it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And he was just going through them. And the team lead was super patient. I worked next to him, and bless his heart, he would help me with everything I needed help with.
Being the green pea.
I know, yeah. They were so patient with me. It was awesome. I love those guys.
But and I tried to do that with the guys that worked with me. I would train them, and I would try to be patient and remember, hey, I want them to learn too.
Yeah.
Because I think there's so many people that it's really, you have to learn tricks of the trade. Mm-hmm. And I would rather tell someone before they make a mistake that they could have prevented, that I've already made the mistake and know how to correct. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was kind of my comeuppance. And then eventually I had enough of Toyota because of the service manager I had, who has since been like ushered out. Forced out because nobody could stand them anymore. Yeah. They would sell like crazy, and management loved that. Yeah. But eventually everybody was like, this person sucks, please make them retire. Yeah. And they did. But I couldn't stand it anymore. I was like, I got an offer to work for the National Guard full-time out of Yakima. So it was like an 1.5 hour drive every day. Yeah. One way.
I made that drive early in my career.
Yeah. But it was starting at $28 an hour. Hourly, 4 10s, all kinds of holidays off, like government work, Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, like really good.
Top, yeah.
Right, yeah. Like $5 to give birth to a child. Like it was crazy, man.
Yeah. Super good benefits.
And it was great because I was in the military. I knew all the guys. It was super fun. It was great for my career. 2 years doing like heavy duty striker repair, like 8-wheeled tanks.
Oh, really?
A ton of hydraulic stuff, mostly Cat engines.
Yeah.
actually all cat engines, those things leak like a motherfucker, dude.
I'm sure.
They leak so bad all the time. And in the military,
huge, too.
in the military, if there's one drip on the ground, that vehicle is not allowed to be used. So it's not like, is there oil in it? Okay, you can use it. It's like one drip, deadline.
Yep.
So it was a lot of like finding one drip, but in these things, they're armored hulls.
Yeah.
And the Allison transmission strapped to the cat engine with the entire hydraulic system and radiator on top of the transmission,
Yeah.
that all has to come out to service anything.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because it's all in a compartment next to the driver.
Cased in, yeah. Yeah.
So you get good enough at that. It's called the power pack. By the end of my time there, I could pull a power pack in about an hour and a half. I could have it out on its own stand running, because they had extension lines from everything in the cab to run out, so you could run it outside.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a lot. It's pretty hardcore.
I'm sure.
So there was a lot of that. I learned a ton about hydraulic fittings and what works for certain types of pressures and fluids and how tight to make things without torquing them. And just that was where I really learned. And that was super fun, except the drive. So eventually I got an offer from the school district locally, and I took that.
Yeah.
Which was way more chill, and it was like $35 an hour.
Dang.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Until the management thing, and I was like, I could make like way more than that if I just did my own thing.
Yeah.
So I did.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my automotive story. And we got your automotive story. Mm-hmm. So that was, I remember this happened because I asked one really good question. So I think it's your turn to ask a question.
It's fair. I think it takes a couple years, going back to what you said about it really kind of clicked for you. Mm-hmm. I think it takes a couple years for it to, like, once you start working on things, for it to click, for you can, like you said, know how to tighten things without knowing the torque spec.
Yeah.
Like, you can just feel. Mm-hmm. Like, you just become accustomed to working on things, and you just get a knack for, I don't know about you, but, like, for me, I like to tear things down.
Yeah.
Like, when random stuff breaks at home, like, I try to fix anything.
Yeah.
TVs, vacuums, anything.
Same here. I'm basically a plumber now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of the toilets in this house were not doing so hot.
Yeah. My first house, dude, I moved in, and like 2 months after I moved in, so I moved in December, and 2 months in, like March, my main sewer line backed up, and it like flooded everything.
Yeah.
I had to replace my whole main sewer line from my house all the way to the main connection.
Yeah.
Dude, that was horrible.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, I had to dig like a 30, 40 foot long trench, like 3 feet deep with a digger. It was crazy. Yeah.
Dang.
But no, I think it really takes a minute for it to click. But once it clicks, and you're like, then you're off to the races. Mm-hmm. And in the automotive world, you can make a lot of money. You know, a really good living. You know, $35 an hour is great.
Nothing to sneeze
at. This is one thing that I don't know if like I regret, but I could always go do it if I want to. But I actually ended up getting a offer to work at Lamborghini McLaren.
Where?
In Seattle.
Oh, sick.
And it was cool. Like, I went, interviewed and everything, and they offered me the position, and training was in London, and crazy.
Wow.
Like,
dude.
Cool. But the pay starting out wasn't, I don't think I would have made much, especially being in
living
Seattle
there.
area. Yeah. You know, so
that's the other thing too. Like, supercars are so cool. To drive.
Yeah. Fun to drive.
That's where it ends.
To drive.
Like, I would never, with a 10-foot pole, touch an actual supercar unless it was a Porsche. Porsches are made with
Porsches are like Subarus.
Yeah. They are made reliably and not just
so
to be
reliable.
Yeah, they're great. They top like the reliability charts every year.
I'd work on an R8.
Okay, yeah, some
GTRs.
Audis. Okay.
I don't know if GTRs count, but
I would work on those. I've done a lot of work on the VQ style engines.
Yep.
That's just got a couple turbos on it, and the internals can actually handle boost.
Well, the nice thing I like about the GTRs is the transmission is in the back.
Yeah, it's separated by a drive shaft.
In the front. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, like, it's just, I don't know, to me it's easier to work on.
Yeah.
But same thing with like R8s, Lambos, all the stuff's in the back.
Yeah.
Like, you can take off the rear bumper, upper glass, whatever.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And you have access to engine, the trans right there. Like, a little more complicated for sure, but
yeah. Yeah, I've heard some other things about like oil changes on those can take like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Because they're not designed with the technician in mind at all.
No, definitely not.
So even
Like
though
a
you
Bugatti
can
oil change?
Yeah, like even though you can get to everything, doesn't mean it's easy.
Yeah.
Because those cars are made in Europe.
Yep.
And everything from Europe is over-engineered.
Yeah.
And those are like the pinnacle of their engineering, you know. So there's going to be a sensor on every inch of pipe in the cooling system.
Oh, yeah. They got a billion modules for everything. Yeah.
And, you get one short in one or one module having one issue and you're chasing. You're just chasing, man.
I was watching a Matt Armstrong video, and he just bought a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. And that's one car I was like hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I want to work on Rolls.
Yeah.
Because those are super complicated because everything's tucked in there.
Yeah.
But he bought one from a Copart auction, and it was flooded. And he ended up
Working?
It ran barely.
Oh.
It had corrosion over a couple things, and so this is what he had to replace the starter. In order to replace the starter, he had to drop the whole engine and trans,
Sick.
subframe, everything.
Yeah.
Couldn't get to. He had to pull the exhaust manifold off just to get the starter out.
God.
And clean the wire and replace it and put it back in.
That's horrible.
Crazy.
Like people complain about the Toyota V8s, the older ones, like the 4.7, the 1UZFE.
Yeah.
The starter being in the V under the intake.
Yep.
Like they're like, oh, that's so hard. Like the Lexus LX400, same thing.
Yeah.
That's so annoying. I'm like,
At least they're not in the bell housing.
yeah, that
seen
or
those.
or
Horrible.
Rolls Royce like tucked under there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it can be worse.
Yeah.
And working for Lambo McLaren could be worse.
Yeah.
That is worse.
Could be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is what technicians don't want. Like in my opinion, it takes a special type of person to truly enjoy that.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, the guys I met at Mercedes, there were two that really enjoyed it. One of which happened to be my fucking lube tech partner
Yeah.
and the shop foreman. Everyone else was just there for a check.
Yeah.
Because they knew the most about those cars because that's where they started.
Yeah.
Nobody actually likes working on those.
Usually European techs get paid more per hour because they don't flag as many hours.
Yes, kind of, but still, they didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's so annoying to work on those, and then every time, like, for instance, on a Chevy,
Yeah.
if you break a plastic vacuum fitting, that's $3.
Yeah.
On a Mercedes, any year, any type, that's $50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you are then possibly costing the customer that, or at the very least getting yelled at more by your,
Boss.
manager because that was an expensive snap.
Yep.
That's the other thing I don't like. Like even the C300s.
That's what I don't like about German cars is there's too much plastic stuff.
Right. And I think Lambos and McLarens, they may not have plastic stuff, but anything that does break, it's exponentially more.
Crazy expensive.
Yeah. And not to mention you're waiting for London to ship it to you a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying.
Yeah.
And
I had to order parts for my Ducati over summer. I had to order from Italy.
Yeah.
That shit, it took a month and a half to get here.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Which is super annoying.
And it was
because
super expensive.
How many Lambo McLaren stores are there in the U.S.? Probably not a ton. Like I'm
probably
thinking
like
big cities.
30?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And if none of them have it, get your ass to Italy, man, because that's where your part's at. And they probably haven't made it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Or
I
they made
can't
a
imagine
limited
they have a
production.
stockpile of Aventador parts sitting around.
No.
So, yeah, that's just another thing that I would not want to do. So, although that would have been fucking sick on the res, like the old
Well,
Resi.
that's kind of where I was going with that. I was like, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to. I still don't know what I want to do with my life, but I'm just kind of floating around. But the one thing I was like, well, if I go here, well, then I could go to maybe a race team or a Formula One team.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be cool.
Like, I was just thinking about the experiences that could come from that. Had I gone there, put in the work, got really good at it, and then went to a Lambo, a GT team.
Right.
Like, crazy.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. I'm promised a spot on the pit crew for one of the local NASCARs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because we have a local round track.
Yeah.
It's like small scale.
Yep.
But the welder that I work with, he bought a race car.
Yeah.
He bought a stock car
Nice.
to race. It's slow going, getting him to actually work on it.
Yeah.
But he told me, once it's on the track, I'm going to be in the pit crew, which is super sick. You can start small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I want to, that's kind of the reason why I bought that Honda outside is because I want to make it a little autocross car.
Yeah.
Do some autocross stuff, and then eventually I want to get a drift car.
Yeah.
Do the same thing and go to drift events. Like there's Drift Masters in Europe.
Yeah.
There's Formula Drift here, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think kind of Adam LZ, he's obviously a big YouTuber, but like I feel like he kind of paved the way for normal people that maybe haven't grown up with that stuff to start getting into it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That actually leads into another conversation I wanted to have. What cars do you own and why? Currently.
So currently.
Yeah. Have you sold the Jag?
I'm meeting with a guy tomorrow.
Okay. Does he know that it soaks the ground in oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I disclosed that.
Okay. It is a Ford after all.
it is. Yeah. It's a Jag. It runs. It's solid. Now, anytime I sell something on Marketplace or any private party stuff, I disclose that. I know.
Well, that's why you're a bad car salesman, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I really want to own a car lot.
Yeah.
Like I really want to conjoin a car lot and my shop.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
But at the same time, the cars that are on my lot are going to be good enough that I feel good selling them.
Exactly.
Which will hopefully gain a reputation for an honest car lot.
Exactly.
Because I'm not going to put some shit out there that's awful.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, and that's the thing, though. But like getting, like, I don't know, like, I've been on both sides of the aisle where you get cars from car lots and they're just trashed. And like, in order to get them back to where they need to be, it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So
More
like,
than the car's worth.
So like, yeah, like you're just gonna either lose your ass or, sell it as is. So
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's a really tricky slope to go down.
You got to be very careful.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking my lot will be a low volume lot because everything will take time and finding the cars. It's not going to be going to auction and buying what I know will sell. It's going to be going to auction and thoroughly inspecting everything in the parking lot
Yeah.
before I buy anything.
It's nice because we have a Copart here, so we could do that.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think we kind of already do that. I mean, at least I feel like I do, but yeah, I kind of feel like you do too because you also have a lot of cars.
Yeah.
And you go through them.
Yes.
But I think it just starts small. You get a car and, hey, they get this for a good price. Yeah, fix it up, sell it. Fix it up, sell it.
Crank no start.
Yeah.
Most common search on Facebook for me, dude. Crank no start. That's why I
Really?
bought a trailer, baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Crank no start. Bring that shit home. Air, fuel, spark. If it's not that, send it to auction.
Yep. Scrap it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Subarus.
Yeah.
That's because I specialize in them. So.
Right.
But, okay, so going back to the original question, what do I own and why? So I'll start with my pride and joy, my 2010 Subaru STI hatch. I bought it. Funny story. I had a 2015 Audi S5.
Okay.
And it was great. Tuned, smaller pulley, intake, stuff like that, exhaust, wheels, coils, all that. And there was this is when I was working at my old dealership. The STI came in, towed in, and sales ended up buying it for $5,000 because it was blown up.
Oh, just blown motor.
Yeah, blown motor.
Not
Uncle
salvageable.
Uncle Rodney, knock on the door, cylinder 3.
Okay.
And so my buddy, he also wanted it, and I was like, "Well, I'm getting ready to sell my Audi because I had gotten it for cheap, and in COVID times, cars are going for crazy." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sell this because I can make a good chunk of money."
Yeah.
And so the car came in, and I was like,
It was nice. It was straight, right?
"It was what
Like super straight.
Just
the outside.
It was missing the bumpers."
Oh, missing?
Yeah,
Both.
both, and super
But not
sun
crashed.
fended. Not crashed. No.
Oh, so it wasn't straight. It was like fucked up.
It was, Uncle Rodney.
Yeah.
The interior was trashed. There was dog
Okay.
hair everywhere.
All right. Okay.
The outside was sun faded, like not anywhere near where it is today.
Okay.
And he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you want that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "I want it." I'm like, "It's coin flip for it."
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I won the coin flip.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up getting that car.
Wow.
There's a coin flip for basically $5,000.
So you bought it for the same price sales took it for?
Yep. Yeah,
That's-
because they were going to send it to
Oh, okay.
Auction.
Yeah. All right.
And so I got it for $5. Ended up getting an RA block, all that stuff, and now it's.
So you just did a block.
I did a block. I did new oil pump, lubrication internals, IAG stuff,
Yeah.
or Killer Bee stuff like that.
Yeah. Baffle.
Really good supporting mods, just reliable mods, nothing
Yeah.
too crazy. And then so there was that my 2010 STI. Love
Where'd you
that
get the
thing.
bumpers?
It's they're 11 to 14 bumpers.
Okay.
Because that's the only thing that changed with the STI 08 to 10
Yeah.
to 11 to 14 was the bumpers changed.
Oh. Okay.
So-
So you got newer bumpers. They're more aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way they look better than the 08 to 10.
Yeah. My buddy at Toyota, he bought one that came in. This one came in 60,000 miles, 2012 STI.
Yeah.
It had like stage 1.
Yep.
You know, cat bag intake.
Yep.
Not stage 2, I think. I don't fucking know.
Staged 85.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I had the Cobb thing and all this other stuff. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's cool. I was like broke as shit and already had a car payment on a WRX that drank oil like a mother.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want that. Approve me. And they were like, no shot, King. No shot. And I was like, shit. All right. And this other guy with no debt and an incredible credit score, another tech, he came up, he bought it.
Yeah.
Still has it. Thing's
Yeah.
fucking solid, dude. Such a nice car. I don't know what they traded. They traded in for a Tundra, I think.
Really?
Which is the weirdest trade.
Is-
We saw that trade more than anything else.
Is it a white one?
STI or WRX for a Tundra?
I mean, I think that's a common, because usually it's dudes who are like they like it sporty, but then they're like, oh well, I now have a wife and kids, and
Yeah.
I want something reliable, but also still kind of cool, you
Yeah.
know. And I think that's a natural progression. I mean,
Yeah. I saw it more than I expected.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, no, it's like the darker gray color.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But super cool car.
Yeah.
Just another story. Yours was a little rougher.
Mine was way rough.
How long did it take you? And how much did it cost?
To get to where it's at now,
Yeah.
I'm probably like total with buying the car and everything, probably 20 grand into it. So the cost of what the car's worth, but it's where it's at now.
Right.
I wasn't just buying the car for 20 and then putting all.
Right. Yeah.
If I bought it for 20, I'd be like 35 into it.
Right. Yeah. Seriously.
It's nice because a lot of things were broken, worn out anyway. So
Yep.
I got it for such a cheap price that I could put that money into it.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
so we'll go through real quick. I have a '89 Honda Civic EF hatchback.
Why?
That's what I just got for my project. I
got
got it
drifted, bro?
it for free.
Tray drifted.
I'm gonna put trays on the back.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
I did that with my old
Yes,
Honda
sir.
Accord in the fucking McDonald's parking lot.
Yeah.
Burned through those things so fast.
Yeah.
You need to put like a couple on them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or
but-
just get metal trays, bro.
Yeah, that'd be loud.
Yeah.
I got it for free actually,
Sick. Okay.
but it didn't run anything. That thing's also hammered.
Right.
But I bought it so I could autocross. Mm-hmm. So a little project. I've always loved EF hatch. I had one back in high school.
They're so cool.
I'm gonna put a big K swap in it. Kind of go crazy
K24?
down the road. I thought about K24, but a lot of the conversion harnesses are for the K20s.
I know, but those engines are expensive.
Yeah.
K24 was in the CRVs
TSX,
and the
yep.
Accords. They're so easy to come by.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
a better
I thought
swap.
about buying
It's
a whole
more power.
TSX, like a part out TSX manual.
Yeah.
For like $1,000. Mm-hmm. I have a whole swap to rip the swap out,
Yeah.
part out the car, and then scrap it and make my money back.
There you go.
But I have a buddy.
Mm-hmm.
He owns a junkyard,
Oh, really?
and so yeah,
That's cool.
he came across a K20Z3 out of a 08 SI, I think it was.
Okay.
It was like $1,200. So I'm waiting for another one of those to pop up. He said he gets them regularly, so
Oh, okay.
eventually I'll get that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll probably start there
Yeah.
just because it's ish cheap.
Right.
B series swaps go for the same price.
Really?
It's crazy, yeah.
Huh.
And
What about H series, bro? The
could-
forbidden H
I've
series.
seen people do H's, but the
They're
thing
not
is,
that much more powerful, and
exactly.
you have to import them. It's kind of funny.
That and like the problem with the B and the H's is they're an older motor. Like the K series and out of a newer car,
Yeah.
go through it, clean it up, 400,000 mile engine.
Yeah.
Especially an EF hatch that weighs
Yeah.
nothing. Crazy.
Yeah, super easy.
Yeah. So that's my plan with that. Make a little autocross, fun daily. 220 horsepower on an 1,800 pound car.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Gonna rip.
Yeah.
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 So, and then I have my '05 Duramax. Duramax. It's my tow pig.
Yep.
Hauls on my cars.
You got that from the dealer as well, right?
Yeah.
It was a trade-in?
Yeah, it was trade.
How much you get it for? Because that one was running, right?
8,500.
How?
Studded, deleted, tuned, intake, exhaust, everything.
How? That's what they gave a person on trade?
No, they gave the person 8. Yeah.
Isn't there a rule about it has to be on the lot for X amount of time before you can buy it?
They were going to auction it.
Really?
Yeah. Because they have
Oh.
their like criteria for selling cars, and it was too old, too many miles, all
Oh,
that.
dude.
Had
That's
100
crazy.
Yeah, it had 170 when I bought it. It's got 185 now.
That's a steal. Dude,
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next time. We'll do past cars next
Okay.
podcast.
And
Yeah. So what else? So that's your tow rig.
Tow
You have a
rig.
trailer.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a Ducati Street Fighter. It's a 2013. I love it. It's a naked bike, but
Yeah. You ride it naked or what?
I'm gonna sell it. Yeah. I like to wear a
Helmet though, right?
no
Oh damn, all naked?
all naked.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I take some Viagra and then I start riding it.
Wow, what a flex.
Can't even see my pecker.
That's great.
No, it's just more of a naked style bike.
Yeah.
It's fun. I love it. I wasn't on a Ducati, but I'm gonna sell it probably here in the spring.
Yeah.
And then I also have my wife's 2013 Veloster Turbo. So
Tuned.
yeah, it's tuned. Actually, no, it's not tuned.
Oh.
No, but it does have intake. Has a ball valve.
Don't you need a tune for that stuff? I've
It'd
always
probably be best to get a tune.
I've always heard that like with any mods to a turbo car, because
It's always best to get a tune.
Yeah.
But I was monitoring her AFRs and stuff and her fuel trims and stuff.
Yeah.
Her gas mileage actually went up after I put the intake on.
that's
So I'm like,
it's running lean, dude.
yeah, it's probably gonna grenade it. But it's doing good. I mean, the AFRs are solid. They're not. It doesn't seem to be running super lean.
That's good.
Eventually, we'll get a tune on it. But not a lot of people that I know of tune KDMs.
Yeah,
You have
that's
to
that's a rare breed.
It
Everybody prefers JDM,
Yep.
KDM stuff, especially because
You have to be in like Southern California.
there's not a lot of it, and it's less reliable.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah. There's a lot of e-tunes, and I thought about going that way, but
Yeah.
low intake. I mean, it's nothing crazy. And then catback exhaust.
That's cool.
It's fun. Low peppy. She likes it.
Yeah.
And then
Well, it's on coils too, right? And you have a wide body,
it's not a wide body, but it's
or you have fenders, right?
it's lowered. No,
Oh, I thought you had fenders on it. Oh shit. Okay.
no, they're just naturally pretty wide.
Yeah.
But she wants to wide body it, but she can't get past the part of cutting the car.
Fair.
Yeah.
That is the shitty part.
It's fair. I mean, you're like, I'm gonna hammer this car right now. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's my wife's. And then we have her beater daily. Currently in transition. Right now it's an '08 Versa. It's going to be an '02 Outback just for all-wheel drive sake.
Okay. The old Nissan Versa.
Yeah.
That's before they got bought by Renault, so the engine's actually like good.
Yeah, it's really easy to work on. There's no leaks from it. It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I drove it to Utah and back, Seattle and back a bunch of times.
Great car.
My mom crashed it.
Whatever.
Solid. Yeah. And then currently have a couple flip cars. 2013 Ford Focus, 2002 Jaguar X-Type all-wheel drive, and then the Versa. I guess
Cool.
I'm selling that. So.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Well, I got a lot. So
You have a problem where you like to buy cars, but you don't like selling.
I don't like selling them because every car I get, I'm like, this is cool in this way, and it serves this purpose.
Yep.
So my tow rig is a 2007 Cadillac Escalade with the 6L80, better transmission,
Yep.
and the 6.2 liter.
Okay.
I think it's like the LT9 or something. It's not the LS2 or not the LS3 technically, but it's very close.
Yeah.
Leaky head gasket. I think haven't quite taken the time to test it, but there's pressure in the radiator or pressure in the overflow and it smells like coolant when you turn it on in the morning, but it goes away. So whatever leak it is, not that big yet.
It's not crazy yet.
Yeah,
not overheating.
No. This is what's whack. The temperature gauge never, unless it's been on and being driven for 20 minutes, never hits operating temp.
Really?
It always hangs out below. So I don't know.
Thermostat?
I don't know.
Thermostat stuck open, maybe?
Yeah, it could be that. I don't know. I need to do some diag. Part of me's like crossing my fingers, like, what if
Like
there's
ignorance is bliss.
well, it's like, what if there's a crack in the throttle body, and that's where the antifreeze is getting in?
Yeah.
That would be so sick, but it's
be cool.
probably fucking not. No. Yeah. But so that's my tow rig / daily. It's got 4% tint on the windows. I know that because I got pulled over the other day.
Nice. You got pulled
And
over
the
for
cot. No,
Oh.
I was in front of a line of 10 cars, all going 25 in a school zone, and he pulled me over.
You were in front?
I was in front.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He just pointed at me. He was just standing outside his car radaring, points at me, and then points at the curb. And I'm like, man, this shit's stupid.
Fine.
I pull over. He's like, I'm not going to take you. You're going fast. I was like, yep. And he's like, roll your window up a little bit for me. I was like, okay. I didn't think anything of it because I bought it like that.
Yeah.
Roll it up a little bit. And he's like, I'll be right back. I'm like, okay. I really didn't think anything of it. Brings back his tint reader and puts it on there.
Man.
He's like, these shits are 4%, dog. And I was like, is that bad? I played in ignorance.
Yeah.
I was like, I just bought it. The registration shows like I just bought it. And he was like, I was like, what's the legal limit? He was like, 25. And I was like, oh.
Way off. Yeah.
And he was straight up with it. He was like, very few people are going to take you for this, but just beware. Like, if a stater's having a bad day, they'll take you for that shit.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Staters are notorious for that.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, it's fucking window tint.
I
As
know.
long as you can see out of it, fine.
Yeah.
The only problem with going that dark is, like, it's hard to see at night.
It's really hard to see at night in this thing. Like,
Roll windows
I'm rolling windows down to look in my mirrors and shit. Like, it's bad. So there's that. And then I have a 2012, which is the same year as yours, right?
Mine's 13.
Okay. Yeah, I have a 2012 Veloster.
Same body style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Veloster, non-turbo, NA, all 136 horsepower.
Nice.
Maybe.
That was my wife's first car.
Yeah.
Was
It does not.
NA model.
Bought it from a customer. Knocks real bad. I think it's those the press-in wristbands.
Yep.
Super sick design. Thank you, Hyundai. Love that. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. I put an intake on it. Want to do an exhaust and then just drive it till the knock gets bad enough to replace. I don't know. It gets like 30 miles to the gallon.
So easy to pull those engines.
Yeah. It's great. Dual clutch transmission.
Yep.
Not that cool.
Nope.
Kind of weird.
Because it's slow as shit. Yeah.
It doesn't shift any faster than my Escalade. And it's like, I thought like the Volkswagen dual clutch transmissions are sweet.
Dude, the Audi's so smooth. Yeah.
This one's dog shit.
Yep.
But whatever.
You're like, man, nah.
Yeah. But, and then I have a 2002 Toyota Celica GT. Always wanted one when I was in high school. Finally got one. Missing all its compression on cylinder 3. So it sounds like a Boxer.
Nice.
Super sick.
Got
Also,
a Subaru thwop, dude.
yeah. That's why I tell people.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what have you done to this thing? Because it's so loud. And I'm like, just EJ257 swap, bro. Like, just whatever. And they're like, damn. I'm like, yeah. They're like, where'd you put the transmission? I'm like, it's under there.
It's there.
So there's that. It's kind of a rolling testament to Toyota's reliability.
Yeah.
Because it's been missing compression for 7 years now. And it has not skipped a beat. Always turns on, always drives, never dies.
Yeah.
Crazy. So there's that. And then I have my 2016 Chevy SS. Mm-hmm. The old four-door.
That thing's a beast.
Yeah, the four-door Camaro with the Holden badges.
Have you dragged it at all?
No, not yet. I did get pulled over once for speeding. I wasn't trying to speed. It was just I was going too fast on accident in the morning, and a cop pulled me over, and I was like, he was like, "You got in trouble on this thing yet?" I was like, "Not yet." And he didn't ticket me because he has a G8 GT.
No, really.
He was like,
That's
"I love
crazy.
these things, man. See you later." I was like, "Fair enough."
Oh yeah.
Love that. And then my wife has a 2018 F-150 with a 3.5 EcoBoost. Nice. Only good engine Ford's ever made, in my opinion. Yeah. Specifically after 2017 when they doubled the timing chains.
Things.
Yeah, the extendo cab.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy.
Dude, it's like a whole playhouse in there.
Yeah, we traded in a Tahoe for it. And I was like, no shot this thing has more space. way more space in a truck.
Was that Tahoe the one that you had to do oil pan on?
No.
Different one?
We'll talk about that next time
Okay.
in previous vehicles. We'll get into that.
All right.
And then I just bought a 2009 C300 with a broken, malfunctioning steering lock.
09. Okay. Yeah.
So you can't turn it on.
Oh, that
Ignition
Benz,
doesn't turn
that
on.
Benz you told me about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ignition doesn't turn on. I'm thinking I'm
Can
going
you get a used one, or do they have to be
No.
new because they're coated?
have to be new. And it's 15 hundo from the dealer for coating and everything. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that. And there are people on eBay who you ship your ignition and keys to them, and they will code an emulator and send it back to you. I'm thinking about doing that because it's like $250.
It's way cheaper.
Yeah. But there is the problem of the ignition and keys going in the mail to someone else. And if it doesn't come back,
You're fucked.
then it's more than the car's worth to get everything, you know? So, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe make a copy of the key before it goes.
Well, I have two, so I could just send one, but I don't know. The emulators look easy, and I keep calling local shops that work on German cars. I'm like, you have to know how to do an emulator. They're everywhere. And they're like, nah, take it to the dealer every time. They're scared of them.
Makes sense, because that's one of those things that when you have a shop, you have to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they've never even heard of an emulator. That's the weird part.
that's crazy.
And there are videos on YouTube of using an Autel and a commonly sold coding thing that comes with it, made by Autel,
Yeah.
to code one. It takes like 5 minutes. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do it myself.
Try yourself.
Yeah.
'Cause you just got an auto, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't
wonder
know
if-
how much the
I
side
wonder
thing
if
is.
that one would do it, but
Yeah, I don't know. I chances
because
are I'd
I know
have
the
wrong
bigger
tool.
Autels, those things are awesome. I want one. That's my next investment.
Well, part of me wants to try the Harbor Freight one. The Icon that just
Yeah.
came out, that's better than Snap-on, which is not hard. We'll get into that. I hate Snap-on,
We
but
get it. I don't like their scan tools suck hot donkey shit.
yeah, they're
those things
so
are
bad.
trash.
Yeah.
Like using the Solus or fucking whatever the other one is.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah, they're
They're
trash.
so expensive.
They're expensive and they suck.
I went to a Snap-on event
Yeah.
recently where all the local dealers were at one property.
Yeah.
It was like, we got deals. It's Black Friday. Come on down. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. I went, and everybody there was like, you need a scan tool, right? All my friends. They're like, you need a scan tool. Yeah. They're like, they got to use one, bro. They got to use Solus. I was
10
like,
Gs.
oh, shit. $1,600, and it was from 2007.
Fuck that.
And the subscription is $15 a week.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's only $15 a week, dude. That's so easy. I did the math on my fucking phone. It's like, that's $800 a year.
Yeah.
Autel charges you $150 a year.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's way more capable.
Oh, yeah.
Way more capable. You can
Yeah,
run
and this
active
one wasn't
tests.
wireless either.
Yeah, you can do everything. Mm-hmm. I've done reprograms for Subarus, for Hondas. I program keys for a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane, dude. I don't
your memory
get,
learns.
I do not understand where Snap-on gets away with, like, that shit.
It's their name. It's the brand. That it's just like Gucci or like
I know.
Louis Vuitton. Like
But at the
They're
end
up
of the
there.
day, like, I don't know. I've never been a style guy either.
Yeah.
So, like, I would never buy Gucci or Louis Vuitton or Snap-on.
yeah,
I would not. I wouldn't buy any tool truck stuff. Even my diehard, thought he was my fucking friend, Cornwell guy.
yeah.
I had like 2 warranty items in a row. He was like, yeah, I'll get on that. Haven't heard from him in a month. I thought we were tight. Like, and then I texted him. I was like, hey, man, you have any news on the warranty stuff? Hasn't even responded.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, okay, I'm done with tool trucks. This shit sucks. Like, there's a Harbor Freight across the street
Literally
from where I
walking
work.
distance, yeah.
And the Icon stuff and their warranty, dude,
Pretty.
it makes no
unreadable,
sense not to buy that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh.
The only thing that sucks is you can't like buy it and make payments on it unless you do the credit card.
There is that, but I mean, half the time their tools are one payment towards a Snap-on tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I bought a torque wrench for $200, like the big boy Icon.
Yeah.
That is so much cheaper
Yeah.
than anything Snap-on sells,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
any of them.
I mean, I have a mix of stuff. Like, I like Harbor Freight. I love Harbor Freight stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of their stuff is 50-50. Like, it'll break first time, but yeah.
Well, you can return it.
Yeah, you can return it and get it fixed or whatever. But the Icon stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
But I also have Matco, Snap-on. Like,
Yeah.
I have a mix of a lot of things. Even Amazon stuff,
Yeah.
you know. OEM Tools or whatever it's called. And
yeah. OEM Tools is O'Reilly's.
is it?
Yeah. And then AutoZone has Duralast.
Yeah. Duralast kind of sucks.
Yeah. But sometimes they have some shit that's like no one else has in town.
Yeah.
Like 16-point axle nut
they come in
sockets
clutch.
that you need when you're working on a Toyota and you didn't realize it was a 16-point axle nut socket.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good Snap-on dealer. The Matco dealer always was shit. My Cornwall dealer was always shit. The Mac, he was cool, but I didn't like DeWalt stuff too much or Mac tools.
I'm Milwaukee all the way.
Yeah, I love
100%.
my Milwaukee stuff. Gangster.
Yeah.
I 100% Milwaukee fan.
Yeah. You ever seen those memes? It's like when you become a dad, you fall into one of like it's like the Hogwarts houses.
Yeah. It shows like
Ryobi, DeWalt, Milwaukee, and then
Makita. Yeah.
And I'm like, I would never use any of that shit except Milwaukee, dude.
Yeah.
No shot. Especially Black Friday at Home Depot.
DeWalt sucks.
Milwaukee's nuts.
I know. Yeah, Milwaukee's, and they constantly come out with good stuff. I just got the M18 tire inflator. It's great.
I have one right over there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
The mobile one, battery powered?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So
it's
great.
Fucking sick.
It's
And like
phenomenal.
road trips.
You can set memory.
Yeah. Road trips are so much less stressful now with that thing.
Takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love that.
I wanted my next purchase, and this is already in my cart, but the M18 high torque half inch.
Oh, you don't have one yet?
No.
Oh, I had two. It's too bad I already sold one because I'd just sell you mine.
That's right.
But that thing, so a little backstory. We'll do an episode on tools, but when I started the school district, they were using Ingersoll Rand from the 80s air impacts. Like the only people that worked there were old as shit.
Old ass shit.
And they were like, man, this thing's never failed. And I was like, okay, check this out. Okay.
And they did build quality shit back then. So.
Yeah, but air is so annoying.
And it's
so
really
loud
annoying.
and you have to run the hose.
And then the compressor.
Yeah. And I was like, guys, watch this. The district gave me a budget to buy some tools for myself because they funded the tools, which is sick.
That's nice.
And I bought one of those, the M12 fuel half inch. It would take the lug nuts off of those school buses.
They probably shit their pants, dude.
They started using it immediately. They were talking so much shit like, what the fuck is that thing, dude? That's so stupid. I took all the lug nuts off, and they were like...
Especially on a fucking school bus where like the torque is crazy.
So tight. They were looking like... Just kind of watching me. Watching me do my thing, and I was like... I just kept doing my thing, and then the next day, I think I came back from lunch, and I caught one of them using it, and I was like, you like that? And he kind of like growled at me. It was so funny. But like, even I bought a half-inch drive stubby, full-size battery Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 3/8.
Yeah.
And then a 3/8 long neck ratchet. And they started stealing all my shit, man.
Yep.
I was like, guys, just get your own.
Yeah.
Like, the district has the budget for it.
Yeah.
And they'll allow you to get it.
That's nice.
And yeah, I still caught the oldest one up until he retired using a stubby Ingersoll Rand pneumatic ratchet. And it didn't even have the torque of the long neck that I had.
Trash. Yeah, all my air tools in the bottom of my toolbox right now.
Yeah, I sold them because I had a Snap-on half-inch air impact, and I was like, I got the Milwaukee. I was like, I will never need this thing again, ever. And I sold it immediately for like $200.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted it so bad, and I was like, fuck, you can have it, dude. This thing's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I keep holding off because eventually I could probably get a compressor so I can run like an air hammer and shit.
I do have an air hammer.
Yeah.
Fuck. I forgot the name.
Dude, if Milwaukee came out with an air hammer that was electric,
yeah,
it'd be sick.
They will, I'm sure. But I bought the one from Harbor Freight.
Okay.
I don't remember what the fuck the name is on it, but I watched so many YouTube reviews of Snap-on versus that one, and every single time, this one was better.
Really?
Brand new out of the box, it dusted the Snap-on one.
Nice.
Incredible.
Is it pretty big or?
It's smaller than the Snap-on one.
Nice.
It's like a long neck but short throw.
Short, yeah.
Yeah, and dude, I've knocked so many suspension parts loose within 2 seconds. Like, you know those press in, like, I don't know, knuckle to strut bolts.
Yep.
They have like the ribs on them.
Yep.
They're so annoying to get out.
Yeah.
And with the hammer and the wheel well, it sucks. I get that fucking thing in there. It flies across the room.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I fucking love that thing. And I have the chisel attachments.
Yep.
I had a coilover with a stripped, a spinning in place stud up in the rear quarter panel.
Oh, no.
It was the worst day of my life, dude.
Yeah.
And eventually I had been hammering on it. I was like, okay, I'm beyond the point of caring about damaging the car. I got the chisel attachment out, and within like 2 seconds, I had the entire bottom of the stud. It was missing. It was dust.
Yeah. Just boink. Yeah.
It was great, dude.
Nice.
It was great. Yeah, I don't know. So, hey, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will be back with, you want to do previous cars next?
Yeah, the previous cars. I think the tools one. I think tools will be.
Yeah.
I could talk for days on that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So subscribe if you enjoy it, and we will, we'll freaking, I don't know.
We'll put all our socials in the descriptions.
Yeah, all the socials, the YouTube channels. Peep the YouTube channels.
If you guys have an idea too of what you want us to talk about,
yeah,
put them in the comments.
let us know, man.
I think as car guys, we can talk for days and days and
you name it, we'll talk about it, man.
exactly. Yeah. So.
Cool. All right. Peace.
Later, guys.